name is Todd and I'm the founder of Ashaya Yoga. Welcome to Asana Spotlight. I want to invite you to share this experience with your friends. This is going to be a great pose. It's a forward bend pose. The name of the posture is Eka Pada Gomukha Paschimottanasana. It's a mouthful. So Eka is one, Pada is leg. So one-legged. Gomukha, so go means cow and mukha is face. So one-legged cow facing Paschimottanasana. Paschimo means posterior or western, and it's the posterior stretch. So it's one-legged cow facing forward bend pose or posterior stretch pose. And the reason why this is such a great pose, especially now, is because as we enter into the dark season, that it's a time to really go within, to self-nourish, and to slow it down. All of nature just takes a big exhalation this time of year, and animals prepare for hibernation, and everything kind of contracts and goes inward. So we want to learn how to align ourselves better with the seasons, and so this is the time to go inward. Now, one of the things about going inward is that during the holiday time, it's just the craziest busy time. And what we want to learn how to do is to slow down in terms of body, mind, and heart. Now, oftentimes the body gets exhausted, but if you have something like insomnia, so you go to bed, your body's exhausted at night, and as soon as your head hits the pillow, your mind starts racing like a rat in the wheel. And so what's happening is that you're still in the sympathetic nervous system, which is the part of us that is focused on survival. So it's the fight, flight, or freeze response. Even though your body's completely exhausted, you can't sleep because your mind is so super active. That's a sign that you haven't turned off the survival mode and you haven't turned on the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our relaxation response. So what's needed is to actually do postures that are designed to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system. So this is one of the poses that I do every night before bed. I have a little sort of before bed sequence specifically to turn off the survival mode and to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, which then actually allows me to sleep. So as soon as my head hits the pillow, most of the times, sometimes it's hard to shut it off. Most of the times I'm just totally out. So I have body exhaustion, and then my mind is exhausted, and the thoughts have also slowed down to the extent that I can let it go. You know, sleep is like this amazing thing. You have to be able to really let go and surrender. And when your nervous system is buzzed, it's very difficult. A lot of times, just because we're so nervous about different things, it's like taking a shot of espresso right before bed. There's no way your nervous system can relax. So this is the anti-espresso pose that will help you turn on the nervous system. That helps you actually relax. And especially for this time of year, we want to learn how to slow it down a little bit. And this is a great stress reduction posture. All right, so let's get started. You come to a standing position at the top of your mat. We'll do a couple of warm-ups to start. So come to a standing position, feet parallel, hip distance apart, palms in front. Take a couple of deep breaths. We know that another way to turn on the parasympathetic nervous system is to use nice full breath. And we want to breathe all the way down into the lower lobes of the lungs, this abdominal breath. Really, we want to do all three chambers of the lungs, which is the lower, the middle, and the upper lungs. Imagine, just visualize that you could inhale all the way down to your feet. And then when you exhale, let it all go. Now we'll add body movement. So inhale, stretch your arms up. And then exhale, fold forward, lead with your heart, hinge at the hips, little bend in the knees, keep your shins perpendicular. And here, lift your armpits, melt the upper back, pull your tailbone down, and try to bring your sitting bones toward the heels.
Engage your legs, lift and spread your toes. And then just to nourish yourself, bow. See if you can practice letting go. When you exhale, just let it go. Part of what helps us let go is to let it be. So with deep self-acceptance, bow. Inhale, lift your heart halfway forward, stretch your torso, and then exhale, fold again. It's really quite a profound teaching to say, well, if you want to let something go, you first have to let it be. And what that means is you give up fighting with yourself. You let go of the resistance. That's a big part of the battle. So we release the fight, exhale and fold. Inhale, left leg back, lunge. Bring your right hand onto the right leg and twist up toward the right. Squeeze your legs in toward the middle. Lift your left thigh a little bit higher. And then take the outer right hip crease back and down. Lift your heart, head back. Now stretch your right arm up. Arch back a bit more. Deepen your breath. Extend your right arm over your ear. Enjoy the stretch. Keep it slow. Keep your breath slow. And then exhale, touch, step your left foot forward. Inhale, heart forward halfway. Exhale, right leg back, lunge. Breathe, let go, open to the bigger energy. Grace surrounds you, but you got to set your sails to catch it. So squeeze your legs into the middle. Bring your left hand on the left thigh and twist to the left. Lift your right thigh a little bit more. Take the outer left hip crease back and down more, tailbone in. Left arm up, arch back a bit. From your pelvis, just push straight back through the right heel, forward through the left shin. And then stretch your left arm over your ear. And I'm going to ask you to just explore the stretch, explore the space, and try to tune into your body. Do what feels really good for you. Exhale, release, step back, plank pose. Bring your knees down to the floor, melt the upper back. In slow motion, come down through chaturanga all the way down to your belly. Point your toes back, hug your legs, tailbone in. Rise up into cobra. Breathe. Now, don't come up all the way. Lower down just a tiny bit. Claw with your hands more. Pull isometrically backwards. Lift your side ribs. Take the head of your arm bones back. And then try to pull the shoulder blades down the back, the bottom tips into the back of the heart. Hug in with self-acceptance, with self-nurturance. And then exhale. Come down. Come up onto all fours, curl your toes under, stretch your hips back towards your heels. Puppy dog pose. So don't move your hands, but isometrically pull back with your hands. Lift your armpits up and then melt the upper back. When your armpits go back, it actually triggers the parasympathetic nervous system because that is the optimal position of the upper arm in the shoulder joint. And whenever you align, it takes a little effort to align, but that effort brings relaxation because the body doesn't have to work. It doesn't have to fight itself. And the joints are supported and the brain recognizes that and sends the parasympathetic nervous system signal to let go. So keep your armpits up, but melt the heart down. Curl your toes under, go up into downward dog. Alternately, press your heels toward the floor, bend the opposite knee. And we're about to stretch our legs in Eka Pada Gomukha Paschimottanasana. So let's get the legs opened up. In fact, bend both knees, lift your sitting bones way up into the sky, create a low back curve, tail in, and then lift your right leg up, lift from the inner thigh, and focus on your left leg. Push the base of the left shin straight back. Spin your right leg inwardly, lift the inner thigh more than the outer thigh. And then from your heart, push through your hands. From your heart, aspire higher with desire to go higher until your leg feels like it's on fire. You may even start to perspire. Do it before you retire. Okay, enough of that. But just stretch the back of the left leg. Exhale, switch. Inhale, left leg up, base of the right shin back. And lift your left thigh more from the inner ankle, inner knee, and inner thigh, such that the back of the sacrum stays parallel. And then focus on your right leg. The right base of the shin goes back. Awesome. Exhale, release, child's pose. Big toes touch, knees a little wider, and then arms in front, come on down, head to the floor. Take at least 2 deep breaths. Again, try to bring the breath all the way down to the lower belly. And this pose, Balasana, the child's pose, is also a really good parasympathetic nervous system stimulator. Relax your shoulders and your spine and your hips. And just rest. Inhale and slowly come up. To prepare for Eka Pada Gomukha Paschimottanasana, you may need to elevate your hips. So you can pull a blanket, sit up on the edge of the blanket, stretch both legs out. Manually interrotate your thighs. Fingers on the blanket by your sides. You'd like to lift up and make sure that you can get your low back, the vertebrae of the lumbar spine, to pull in. And if you can't do it with one blanket, then use 2 blankets. If you go up to more blankets, like 3 blankets, then you're going to have to put another roll underneath your knees to support the backs of the knees. And you just sit with your legs stretched out, spread your toes. Yeah, curl your toes back, engage your muscles. Okay. All right, now, I'm not going to use a blanket because I can pretty much keep my vertebrae in. Keep your left leg extended. Take your right knee and just cross it over the left knee. All right? So this is the half Eka Pada one-legged Gomukha, cow-facing part of the pose. Then push down, lift your hips, stick your butt way back, maintain the low back curve, hug your legs in toward the middle, and lengthen through your side ribs, shoulders back. Awesome. Flex the left foot and root the left heel down. Now, because it's a forward bend, we're going to first practice back bend in the forward bend. So, keeping your spine extended and keeping the low back curve for as long as you can, start to fold forward from the hips. Walk your hands forward as well. And very shortly, you'll begin to round the back. So as you round, keep the length. Extend your heart towards your foot. And continue to come forward as much as you can. You'll start to feel the stretch all in the back of the left thigh. And you may feel a little bit of the IT band as well. And then we do a little bit of a twist. So take your right hand to the little toe edge of your left foot and pull. So it's a little bit of a twist to the left, but more so you just use your right hand to square up the left foot and apply a little bit of leverage to get a deeper stretch. So in this pose and in all forward bends, we want to lift the peripheral sides of the body. So that means the arm bones, the waistlines, the side ribs here, and the hip creases go straight back. But what goes forward is more the central line of the spine. So imagine you could melt the spine and the heart forward while the sides of the torso go back. And then come as far forward as you can. Keep your sitting bones on the floor, on the blanket. And it's a pretty intense stretch at this point. And then inhale, come up. We'll do a little variation. So bring your right hand behind. Take your left wrist over the right knee. And we're going to turn the thumb to face down. So it's like a backhand there. And apply pressure of wrist to leg. Inhale, rise up, and against that pressure, when you exhale, twist to the right. And this is a very deep twist. Take the outer right hip crease back and down more. And when you inhale, just rise up out of the hips and pelvis. Keep the head of the arm bones back. Take your palate back and the back of the skull up. So you have head, heart, and pelvis all in one line. Each inhalation, hug the vertical midline of your spine with self-nurturance. We really want to learn how to turn the parasympathetic nervous system on. So soften your skin. Now alignment, good alignment helps turn that on. So head, heart, and pelvis all in one line. And then for sure, as you exhale, let go more. And then inhale, rise up, come back to center. Twists also, spinal twists have a neutralizing effect on the spine. So if you're revved up and have a lot of anxiety, do some twists. It will calm you down. If you're lethargic or exhausted, twists will actually help to balance your energy. Switch your legs. Right leg extended, left knee up and over. This is the half cow-facing pose. Full cow-facing pose, Gomukhasana, we would fold the straight leg under as well. Okay, low back curve. Flex the right foot, root the right heel down, hug muscles into the midline, a warm, self-nurturing hug. And then exhale, do a back bend in the forward bend. Bring your hands forward. Continue to stick your butt back. Keep the lumbar vertebrae in. And then it's natural to round. We want to have spinal flexion. That's part of what turns on the parasympathetic nervous system, is when the spine flexes, everything turns inward. You actually can look within, and the nervous system will slow down. Here comes a little twist. So left hand to the little toe edge of the right toe and pull the little toe edge of your foot back, but push through the right big toe ball mound. And you'll notice how that stretches the right thigh even more. Extend your heart toward the foot, continue to come down. Keep your sitting bones on the floor or blankets. Pull your tailbone in, lower belly in and up. And then consider melting the central line of your spine inward toward the center of the body. You can consider that that is the nervous system, the spine, spinal cord. And when you relax that, and when the spinal cord melts more toward the middle of the body, the parasympathetic nervous system turns on. As you start to go more inward, the relaxation response increases and the breath deepens. Take the head of the arm bones back, waistlines back, side ribs back, outer hip creases back. And fold. Come a little bit deeper. Now if your weight, really deep in the pose, you can take your left hand right over the ball mounds of the right foot and kind of pull this way. This is a Padahastasana variation in this pose. And that's going to increase the stretch quite a bit in the calf. Breathe, let go, and remember to let something go, you first have to let it be. So deep acceptance, All is well. All you have to do is just do your best. Your best is always enough. And you're always good enough. And then inhale, slowly come up. Left hand behind on eagle talons, lengthen your spine. Bring your right wrist to the outside of the left knee, thumb down. Inhale, rise up, and then exhale, sweep your right hand into the left leg and sweep the heart around to the left. Shoulders back, lift your throat, palate back, occiput up. Few deep breaths now. Hug your shoulder blades lightly onto the back. It's really the metaphor that life has your back. All of life is conspiring in your behalf. Soften your face, soften your skin. Continue to engage with self-nurturance. Hug the vertical midline, so all around the spine you hug. Rise up a bit more. Take the outer left hip crease back and down more. And a little bit deeper twist. Continue. See if you can now move your heart to the left, but draw your belly to the right. It's almost like wringing out a towel. This way it's two opposite directions. Upper spine goes toward the left, lower spine, lower belly to the right. And inhale to release. Stretch your legs out. Come down onto your back. And turn your palms up by your sides. We'll do just a short Savasana. So stretch your legs out and just take a moment and savor the feeling of relaxation. We want to be able to work the nervous system. That's what's going to help you sleep at night. Your body can be exhausted, but your mind can be completely activated. And that doesn't work. That keeps you in fight, flight, or freeze. So just let go. And receive the self-nurturance in the form of a slow breath. And then release the weight of your body to gravity. And see how much more you can let go. And then as you're ready, bend your knees, roll to the right side, and slowly come up. Sit cross-legged, bring your index fingers and thumbs together, palms down. And close your eyes, just sit well. Tune into your heart. Observe the steady flow of the breath. Perhaps the thoughts have slowed down a bit. And let's receive the benefits of this posture to nourish ourselves, to slow down, and to align with the season where all of nature starts to draw inward. It's a beautiful time of year, reflective time of year, and although the days are shorter, the light that's there is even more precious. And then bring your palms together in front of your heart. Know that you can return to this state of inner calm and inner peace anytime you wish. I do this pose every night before bed and sometimes during the day too. And just let this peace that flows inside connect you to your heart, and may that guide you throughout the rest of your day to be able to meet and greet each person and all aspects of life with an open heart and with a calm nervous system.
And that's when you can make the best decisions. You have the clearest vision for yourself. And you start to recognize and live in the miracle that life truly is. Let's take a deep breath now and chant Om. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Bye for now.